How do I permanently close my account? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here with what turns out to be a fairly common question I've received over the years at askleo.com. Here it is. Can I delete my Yahoo email but keep the files containing past received emails? Yes, of course there is. There's a couple of different ways to do that. One of the things though that I want to talk about in answering this is closing your account and whether or not you really want to. What people often want when they close an email account or when they want to close an email account is they want the email account to stop receiving email, and they want that account to then send a bounce message back to whomever the sender was saying that the email account doesn't exist anymore. That's not going to happen. Or rather, you can't count on that happening for a variety of reasons. It's very possible, for example, that some services just don't close the account immediately. You would not believe the number of times I also get the what I'll call companion question, I closed my account, but now I need it back. Services understand that this happens a lot, mostly because so many accounts are used for so many things other than the email in which they are originally set up to be. So what the services do is they accept your closure request, but they start a countdown timer. That timer might be 30 days, it might be 90 days, it might be something we just don't know. But the bottom line is that the account is not actually closed. It will continue to receive email. It will continue to exist. If you simply log into the account again, the closure is turned off. In other words, that's how you go back to the account that you didn't mean to close. This is very common. But what that means is, even if you don't go back to open the account again, for that cool down period, I'll call it, email doesn't bounce. And that's typically when people want the email to bounce, is right away, right after they've closed it. It's not going to work that way. Another problem is that sometime after you close your email account, and it can be with this grace period, or even if it's immediate, your email address may become available for someone else to use. It may be available when they now sign up for an account with that same provider. Email sent to that email address will no longer bounce because it's now somebody else's email address. They will now get the messages that if people are still sending to your old email address, it's their new email address and they're the ones that are going to get the messages. Another problem is that if bounces do happen, they might not happen consistently. If you, for example, get a lot of spam or just get a lot of email on that account, the service provider might decide that sending bounces for each and every message you get doesn't make any sense. It's just too much outgoing email. It just adds to the flood of spam that's out on the internet. So they may simply choose to become inconsistent, or at least throttle the amount of bounce back that they may actually generate for your account. There's really no way to know when, how, or if they might do this. And finally, ISPs can have policies. They could just say, no, it's just not something we do. If you close an email account, we assume you're closing the email account and that's it. There's no bounces, no nothing after that. It can happen. In fact, it's fairly common. So if you do want to bounce, if you do want to inform people that your email account is no longer being used, here's what you do. Keep the account. Seriously, keep the email account open. Check it every few months if you like to make sure it doesn't get closed for inactivity. But while you have that open, set up an out-of-office reply or a vacation autoresponder. Let that be your bounce. In this automatic response, you would say, hey, I'm not paying attention to this account anymore. You want this other email address. Or if you were somebody that I wanted to email me, I would have already given you my new email address some other way. Whatever. The point being is you control the message that can then be sent for anything that arrives at this old, no longer used email address. But you keep it in your control by keeping the account open. Now, what happens if you want to keep the emails from your closed account, regardless of how you closed it? That's like the simplest answer of all. Get a PC-based desktop email program like Thunderbird or Office's Outlook or any of a number of others. Connect it up to the old account, have it download all of your email to your PC, and you've got it. You can then close the account or not close the account. That part then becomes up to you. But that way you'll have archived all of the email that was in that email account before you shut it down. I hope that was helpful. For updates, for related links, for comments and more, visit askleo.com/15677. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.